This should go without saying. Scott is honestly a great guy. Sure, you can absolutely disagree with his opinions and beliefs, and give him some criticism for donating some of his money to anti-LGBTQ politicians, how he didn't do much research during the NFT situation, and maybe hiring people to work with him in the past that seriously have issues. Looking at you, asshole. But all of these certain dramas, especially the most recent Republican drama, a lot of people have forgotten about the many good things about Scott that make him a morally good person. The good things even outweigh the bad. Hey there guys, Tyler here, and welcome back to another top 5 video. I know I was working on a video called the top 10 characters needed in FNAF AR, but I'm gonna delay that one a bit and get this one out. All 5 of these entries and many more cases of Scott being genuinely a Chad are why I will always support Scott in the best way I can, and why I still respect him both as a creator and a person. Now keep in mind that I will not be able to include every positive thing Scott has done, since to be honest, that'll take a while. There are of course the great things, like him being able to take constructive criticism, changing the horror genre in a rather positive way, making games for either charity or to supply fans when a game gets delayed, and just to name a few. Well, before we begin, these are my personal opinions, and be sure to subscribe down below and turn on the notification bell. Totally optional, but it would be appreciated if you did. We're on the road to 10K, and so yeah. And without further ado, let's get into this. Coming in number 5 is the Fazbear Fanverse Initiative. So fan games. It's almost somewhat of a gift that Scott allows fans to make fan games. We see gaming companies like Nintendo all the time striking down that stuff. However though, Scott did not only just allow them, and even play some of them, he also went the extra mile. On August 21st, 2020, Scott announced that he would be allowing fan game creators to make a profit off of their fan games, those of which being Emil Mako, Kane Carter, Nixon, Jonachrome, and Fistnum. This is without a doubt a Chad move. First off, it proves that you're being supportive of fan games and just fan-made creations in general. And secondly, it's literally awesome that fan game creators' works can be proven worthwhile. There's a lot of time and dedication and hard work put into these projects, and seeing Scott show his appreciation and support for them is honestly great. Number 4. Writing a letter to a young fan as Foxy. So there are of course going to be young fans and children who are going to latch onto your property, no matter if it's suitable to them or not. As you could probably tell, some of those young fans or parents can even write letters to the creators of the property they like. Then it just becomes a matter of, how does the creator respond to the kid? We've seen how some other developers handle it, but how did Scott handle it? What did Scott do? Well, in the Scott interview hosted by Dawko, which by the way, Scott agreeing to be a part of it was another great move of him, he said that a young fan wrote him a letter, but to Foxy more specifically. So then,
you know, and I need to write that kid back. I'm going to go get a big envelope and put a bunch of Foxy plush toys, and I'm going to write a letter as Foxy. I've never done that before, but I'm going to totally do it. And I'm going to even make a little tear in the paper and say that it was my hook that
yeah,
that said it. I'm going to totally do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was legitimately awesome, and honestly really cute and sweet. And yet, these motherfuckers are trying to cancel this man for his political opinions on Twitter. Okay then. Number 3. Supporting Markiplier during time of need. So yeah, this one was truly something. On June 24th, 2018, Markiplier found out 30 minutes prior recording his update video that his niece Miranda passed away in a car crash, which was completely devastating, and my condolences will always go to Markiplier because of this. So, the other kicker was that this happened around the same week Scott was going to release Ultimate Custom Night, and knowing the fan base, when Scott heard about this, Scott made a Steam post saying for us to keep Mark and his family in our prayers and in our hearts, and to respect his privacy by not pestering him to play the game when it came out. This was extremely respectful of Scott to say, and even when Markiplier got around to playing UCN when he was ready to, he even commented regarding Scott's post.
And also, I wanted to mention a personal thank you to Scott Cawthon himself. He, when I made the video announcing what happened to my niece, he made a really nice post, and he didn't have to, and that's what threw me off so much. I sent him an email, but I don't know if he uses the same email anymore. But I sent him an email just thanking him because he sent out a message that was just like, this game's coming out, obviously, and he wanted to put it out there that you guys, you know, hopefully you guys wouldn't bombard me with requests to play this game while I was, you know, away with family. And I just wanted to say thank you to Scott for that because, you know, you didn't have to do that. You really didn't have to do that, but you did, and that speaks a lot to, like, I don't know, it speaks to your character, and it's just something that I really appreciate.
Number 2. Donating to multiple charities. This continuous act of kindness is usually regarded as the most pointed out thing when people try to prove that Scott's a good person, and it's definitely a great thing. Scott has donated to multiple charities during his career. Back when FNAF was at its peak and ranking in the money, Scott donated that money to St. Jude's Research Hospital. There's of course the numerous amount of times he donated to Daco's charity streams.
Hey, he might not be here. He might be doing something, and he might, like, he's a busy guy, you know. He's a busy guy.
He has even donated to Corey X Kinshin. Even donating to MatPat's charity streams, even making 2 games, Freddy in Space 2 and FNAF Crowd Control for those events. And whether you like to believe it or not, Scott was actually one of the top donors in most of these charity streams. But back to Freddy in Space 2 specifically. While the fact that it was made for MatPat's 2019 charity stream was one of the reasons the game was made in the first place, keywords, one of, meaning it was not the only reason. What was the other reason that Freddy in Space 2 was made? Well, we go to number 1. Skylar Jen, born October 15th, 2007, was a young member in the FNAF community and made vlogs and plush-oriented content on his channel. He really loved the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, and he even made art about the characters. However, around 2019, he got terminal cancer. There was a massive chance he was not going to survive this. Because of that, though, Skylar got the opportunity to meet someone really special in the hospital before he potentially passed away. And that someone really special was Scott. Scott even got people in the community to sub to Skylar's channel. Skylar was extremely happy about meeting Scott and what Scott did for him, but then on October 26, 2019, he passed away at age 12 to his terminal cancer. Everyone in the FNAF community started to pay their respects, and Reddit for a little while had Skylar's YouTube PFP as their PFP everywhere to remember him. And you would think that's the end of the story there, right? Well, no. For MatPat's 2019 charity stream, like I already stated, Scott created Freddy in Space 2. However, he also dedicated the game to Skylar, and his remembrance, with the first frame of the game even saying so. What happened here is why I will always support Scott, no matter what happens or what he gets himself into. I cannot think of any other indie game creator, or just anyone in the gaming industry in general, who would make a game in a dead fan's honor. I literally cannot think of anyone else who genuinely would. Scott is an awesome guy, and this moment proves it all. You know, there's a legitimate reason why Scott has a wife and 2 kids, and Yandere Dev doesn't. I know I sometimes have negative opinions with his franchise, but even with that, I will always love Scott, and consider him one of the best indie developers of our time. And you know what? He's not even just a great indie developer. He's a great person. Scott takes constructive criticism and feedback on the chin, and not dismiss it and or complain about it. That and a lot of events have led to Scott's mostly positive reputation, which I hope keeps maintained throughout this cancellation drama. And this little thing with Scott and Skylar is, in my opinion, the best thing Scott Cawthon has ever done, and as well, rest in peace, Skylar.